Happy holidays, good evening race fans, and welcome in live to Stam Studio Network. My name is Sean Stam, and tonight it's cutoff action. We go from 8 drivers in our playoffs down to just 4 for our Kansas Championship race. I hope that you're all doing well for our 125 lap race tonight. Stage break at 63 laps in the race. Going and taking a look at some point standings before we take a look at our starting grid tonight. It's Neil Lapidus. He is he is leading us in the point standings. Bobby Blair, Jensen Case, TJ Zachary. Those are the top 4 drivers in our playoff point standings. Tony Steele, Christopher Clore, Ricardo Cano, Elijah Fisher. The whole season, it doesn't quite come down here to just tonight, but the whole season of hard work definitely comes down to playoff contention here tonight. Taking a look at our starting grid, it's going to be, pulling up live timing and scoring, Bobby Blair, TJ Zachary, Ricardo Cano, Tim Blankenbeckler, Neil Lapidus, Frank Ranger Jr., as well as Robert McDonald, Christopher Clore, Tony Steele, and Jensen Case. We are actually experiencing some technical difficulties with my timing and scoring software real quick. So hopefully we're going to have 1 more or 2 more pace laps here. Going to reload the timing scoring software. Oh, not quite yet. Hey, what better time to have some technical difficulties than playoff time here? Hopefully everybody's doing well, and feel free to let me know who you are rooting on tonight in our playoff field of 8 drivers, now cutting down to just 4. It's still, oh God, it's 9.
Green.
Oh God. This is very, very weird. I've never had this happen before here within the sim world. I'm going to be right back with you here on the SSN. Apologies for this brief delay. Alrighty, well, welcome back. That's why it's going to be a quick, brief delay. There was actually a kind of quick session issue, so nothing here on the streaming side of things. We'll get back to looking at some playoff drivers within contention tonight, starting with Jensen Case sitting in 3rd position in our playoff standings. He's that ARCA Mechanic Pit Crew. Passionate about racing. Remember, how does he feel heading into the playoffs? We've repeated these here quite a few times, but just going and kind of introducing our playoff drivers, the whole hard work and hard season, what all comes down to this. Jensen feels really good heading into the playoffs, but he knows it's not going to be easy. At least he is sitting above that playoff line. Elijah Fisher there, he's sitting in our 8th position in the playoff timing scorings, sim racing since 2020, and that Indy win was the highlight of Elijah Fisher's season. Bobby Blair, he works in HVAC, loves riding anything with 2 wheels, loves fishing, and loves his cats more than people. Indy, get over here. Hey, I feel you there, Bobby Blair. He feels good going into the playoffs. He is sitting he's sitting 2nd in our points standings, but +4 to that playoff cutoff line. Tony Steele, how about him? He is 1 point below our playoff cutoff line, works in virtual design, 8 years of experience as a flagman, enjoys watching sports, enjoys that beer hockey league as well. How does he feel heading into the playoffs? Feels good. He has speed each and every week, as well as consistency. I'm going to add there to Tony Steele's driving style. He feels like he's too hesitant in close quarter combats. Excited to see if he can work his way into the next and championship round. Then TJ Zachary sitting 4th in the point standings, 1 point 1 point to the good in our playoff standings. Still looking for the new session there. Okay. CJ Zachary, truck driver, 39 years old, married with 4 kids and 1 grandson, 3 dogs, and the bearded dragon, loves sports and fishing, lifelong racing fan, interested in getting into the local Crown Vic Series. That would be pretty cool, TJ. Let us know if you ever do, man. Best highlight of his season is he has greatly enjoyed racing with everyone in the league. It's been a great group, and I can second that. Not even kind of the driving style and the sportsmanship, the racecraft of the series, but as well as everybody kind of back and behind the scenes. Speaking of some nice people back there behind the scenes, Ricardo Cano out of hometown Buenos Aires, Argentina. Hola, Ricardo. That's an avid SSN fan as well as a monthly member We appreciate that, Ricardo. Ricardo's a certified electromechanical technician for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. He's loved motorsports since he was a kid, classic motorcycles, and especially those two-strokes. No real-life racing experience, ... yet. I like that addition there. He lives with his dog buddy, enjoys creating sim racing content on YouTube. Make sure you hit him up and subscribe to his YouTube channel and Instagram page. How do you feel heading into the playoffs, Ricardo? He's excited and just grateful to be here. He's trying to enjoy every race and learn as much as he can, give it everything that he's got. It's Neil Lapidus, the points leader, coming into tonight for our points for our cutoff race at IRP. It's a hometown race for both him as well as Christopher Clore. Neil's out of Columbus, Ohio. We're racing in Brownsburg here tonight, but he's animal control officer, co-owner of Midwest Elite Racing, husband to Madeline, and father of 3 boys, a plus another on the way. He enjoys camping, golfing, and loves anything with an engine. 8+ years of experience on iRacing. Enjoys beating Christopher Clore. There you go there, Neil. Best moment highlights of the season, seeing his teammate Tim Blankenbeckler get his first win at Chicagoland. And then there's the man, the myth, the legend, just chatted about him there. Christopher Clore, truck driver for Expo. Okay, apologies here, just making sure the session, there it is up now. He's also loved motorsports since a young age. Grandmother was a huge Dale Sr. fan. His father went to school, there you go, father went to school. Made that mistake a couple weeks ago with Jeff Gordon. That is pretty cool. Hendrick Motorsports fan, you have to be. His first league win ever came at Bristol. That was the highlights of Christopher Clore's season. Take another look at our playoff point standings coming into cutoff round tonight. It's our top 4, and then that playoff cutoff line right below 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Tony Steele, Christopher Clore, Ricardo Cano, and Elijah Fisher. It's still pretty much anybody's ball game tonight, coming in here to the penultimate round of the Admin Box Midwest Elite Racing ARCA Series. All right, let's check in on YouTube land. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Happy holidays. We see you down there, Ted. Welcome in, welcome in. Hopefully you're healing fast and getting ready to get back to moving and grooving there. We're just almost back up into the session, and it'll just be a quick, I believe, qualifying and then back up into dropping the green flag on the race. Apologies for the brief difficulties here just earlier on. Looks like you're going to get something pretty special tonight. A little bit of testing action as well as qualifying action. This is going to be pretty. This is going to be kind of cool to watch here. Something that we don't necessarily, that the fans don't necessarily get to hear, see too much here in the Admin Box Midwest Elite Racing ARCA Series. All right, as we cut live to a virtual trackside action, there's Santa Claus. It's holiday time here. We get Santa out of here. We got some racing to do. It's is it gonna work? We might have to restart our timing and graphics one more time. Brief apologies, or is it going to? Oh, it's not. Okay, we're going to take one more quick break. Stick with us on Stam Studio Network. Make sure you have yourself that drink, have yourself that snack. Don't go anywhere. Name's Sean Stam. We'll be right back with you here, ladies and gents. Before the race starts, please join us in a brief moment of silence for Greg Briffle and his family. Thank you. Appreciate it, everybody. Let's do it. From the top, let's run it back. Good evening, everybody. Welcome inside the Admin Box Midwest Elite Racing ARCA Series. Tonight we arrive at one of the most critical points of the season. I'm talking the penultimate round. It's upon us, and there is absolutely no margin for error from here on out. Indianapolis Raceway Park. Believe me, it sets the stage tonight. It is a short track with big consequences, tight corners, and often those long green flag runs. There you see that the outside line. That's going to definitely come into a factor tonight. Taking a look at our playoff point standings that we've seen a couple times. That hey, it's from the top. You remember that thing from Men in Black? It flashes you and you lose the last like 10 minutes that happened to you. That's exactly what happened here. Neil Lapidus, we're gonna go. Neil's got to the playoff points lead in front of Bobby Blair by Neil's got the +5 on the cutoff line, Bobby Blair +4 on the cutoff line, Jensen Case +3, and then TJ Zachary only 1 point above the playoff cutoff line. And then the eliminations, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. You better hope it's not you or the driver you're rooting on. Tony Steele, Christopher Glore, and Ricardo Cano. We met the playoff drivers. Now you see where they're running here coming into this 125 lap race tonight. All right, it's Sean Stam live here on Stam's today. Well, yeah, we can come back in. Oh, there he is. Welcome back in, Santa. Happy holidays to each and every single one of you. Sean Stam live here on Stam Studio Network. We are just a couple of minutes away from green flag racing. Taking a look at our track info tonight. It is a 0.7-mile raceway. Well, actually, you see what I'm getting away with there. Temperatures in the 65-degree Fahrenheit range, and that's ambient, so I would imagine track temps is a little, actually maybe a little cooler than that with these night temps that we're going to race with. Sitting at an altitude of a cool, calm, collected 860 feet, so plenty of oxygen for these NASCAR ARCA engines to work with. I think I'm not going to get into the specifics. It's 0% humidity, crystal clear skies up above us. And thank you. We're about 1,200 subscribers now. Hey, each and every single one of you who continues to make this happen, as well as the racers who are about to put on a show, and those sponsors and affiliates up in the top left of your screen. If you have stumbled upon this broadcast in YouTube vertical land, make sure you join us over in horizontal land. That's where all YouTube chats are being read off. Oh boy. Okay, we have, speaking of YouTube chats, Neil, we appreciate you joining in, as well as Ted. Neil's letting us know that new session was created. I saw that a couple minutes ago, Neil. Just, I know it sounds bad, just now seeing it. We have, although it is playoff elimination round tonight, we do have 11 drivers on the field, only 8 drivers in playoff contention, but we do appreciate the drivers who continue to show up race after race throughout the season. It means a lot to us here, and I know that's with this playoff elimination kind of format that we have, it'll keep you on your toes. We saw unfortunately with Tim Blankenbeckler, the Pond Prowler number 10 Toyota Camry there a couple races ago. Matter of fact, back-to-back races, just unfortunate hardware issues for him, and it's just as easy as that. That's how fast it can happen. Can happen to you on the racetrack, or can happen to you off the racetrack in terms of real life. We'll take a look at our qualifying results here tonight. It's going to be Bobby Blair, unsponsored, looking for a sponsor. He was one of our fastest drivers within the practice standings. He starts P1. Tyler Price in P2. Neil Lapidus out for Langley Lapidus Racing, starting P3. TJ Zachary, Tim Blankenbeckler, Ricardo Cano, hola Ricardo, out of Buenos Aires, running for Satori Racing in the number 25. Christopher Clore up in our playoff point standings. He is 6th in our playoff point standings. He's going to start 7th in the race. Jensen Case P8, Robert McDonald P9 in the race. Don't see him in our top 8 for the playoff drivers, but Robert, we appreciate you making your way out to the track tonight. Same story there with Frank Ranger Jr. Believe that was last round, an unfortunate end to Frank Ranger Jr.'s championships hopes. Tony Steele, he's still hoping. He's 1 point below the playoff cutoff line. He starts in our last position, P11. It's 125 laps tonight. We do have 1 faster pair, 3 tire sets available, as well as 50% fuel. All right, looks like we are getting ready to go. A couple of pace laps here, and it does put a tear in my eye kind of here. The whole season doesn't quite come down here to this. We're going to be racing at Kansas for the championship. But hey, these 11 drivers here, they're still going to put on a show for the race fans here on Stam Studio Network. Bobby Blair there once again up on the pole. He's got that very vibrant red and black Traxxas number 55, some Thrustmaster action as well as the lime green kind of windscreen up there up top, helping you see that he is one of our playoff contenders. TJ Zachary's going to start up to his outside, and what a season it's been for TJ Zachary, repping the 16 forever. Hey, let's rip off some sleeves here tonight for the Biff. We appreciate the tribute there, TJ Zachary. Tim Blankenbeckler going to start on the inside of row number 2, as well as Ricardo Cano starting on the outside. We've got some short track racing here up above our hands, but it is going to be the outside line that really prevails. Christopher Clore and the Expo white and red number 21 machine. Remember, truck driver for him, kind of cool to rep them on the virtual racetrack tonight for Jensen Case. For Christopher Clore. Jensen Case starting in the 6th position. Hey, let's do this for the Biff here tonight. This whole first lap, it's just a crank it up. Let's do it for him. Let's hear these engines roar loud and proud. It's penultimate racing round here before championship action. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, Ricardo Cano, unfortunate, getting spun on the first lap. There is a slight bit of damage on the left side. I don't think it's going to warrant a fast repair. I would probably uncheck the fast repair there. Unless the suspension or one of the wheel wells got hit there. I have to take a look at this quick race, the race replay. Man, on the drop of the yellow flag, too, you got to imagine that these drivers are experiencing some pretty antsy feelings here coming into the race here. Let's see what happened to him. Oops, there you go. Apologies for that. Got Tim Blankenbeckler on the inside. It was almost 3 wide. It kind of was 3 wide there for a moment. I believe that's the number 13 of Robert McDonald also involved. Oh, man, I maybe would take that fast repair for Ricardo Cano there. That was a heavy lick onto the inside as well as the rear of that Satori at number 25 Racing Mustang. Here's going to be kind of a great look at it. The Ricardo Cano up top. That's the line that's going to be most commonly ran tonight. Tim, it looks like Tim just kind of washes up the track, maybe just a slight bit loose, trying to avoid Robert McDonald, who's already washing up the track as well in that Beans machine. There's Ricardo Cano down and around he'll go. Oh, and then, oh man, didn't quite see it that time by, but I know that was a hard lick. Let's hop on board with Ricardo Cano here. Oh, not even a safer barrier either here at IRP. At least on the inside, might I add. All right, that was a quick first caution here within the first lap, something that we don't necessarily see too often here, the Admin Box Midwest Elite Racing ARCA Series. We're sponsored by the affiliates and sponsors up there in the top left, Tier 1 setup stops that allow these drivers to continue to put on these immaculate racing shows, race in and race out, as well as the Admin Box, our sponsor, I believe that hit up Neil Lapidus there. He's got the code right there for you, a really nice discount code for our racers. I do believe, don't hold me on the don't hold me on that one. As well as Thrustmaster, also somebody else, or excuse me, another company. They're coming on board and really helping us out there. Robert McDonald looks like he's missing his whole front nose in that Luke joint number 13 Bean machine. Looks like he's got Frets for Pets on the rear quarter panel as well. Appreciate Frets for Pets. I remember that they actually sponsored a race earlier on in the season. It's not beans, it's peanuts, because they're lightly salted, unless Robert McDonald does like his beans lightly salted. Out of, I believe that's a Gator, Mississippi there. Robert, we appreciate you coming out tonight. And I also don't blame you necessarily for trying to save that fast repair here earlier on. It's only lap 1 of this 125 lap race. That iRacing safety pace car is down and off, headed back to pit lane. Myers Racing 23 says, do it for Dale, do it for Biff. We're going to do it once again on this race restart. Let me know if everything's sounding A-OK down there in YouTube land below, as we'll get the green flag thrown back here for lap number 5 out of this 125 lap race. Bobby Blair, TJ Zachary, here comes Christopher Clore. Christopher Clore is going to slightly wash up the racetrack there, almost contact with the number inside, the number 8 of TJ Zachary, almost contact with the inside. No, it's not going to be said so. Robert McDonald still running P4. Had a nice race start up there with no front nose on that number 13. Speeds up tonight. We're not going to get too fast, so maybe the aerodynamic damage not necessarily going to be too much here. But as Neil says, one of the league owners, these ARCA cars are held together with duct tape. There's Neil Lapidus there in the number 16. Another Greg Biff. Let's do it for him here. Neil running the number 16 this race weekend for tribute to the man. He's going to try to close that gap up to Tony Steele up there right up in front of him. Neil Lapidus, Tony Steele, playoff drivers going at it here for 7th and 8th, as well as 5th and 6th. They're running side by side between Tim Blankenbeckler and Jetson Case. Looks like Tony Steele taps the outside wall there on corner exits, gets it back moving and grooving. There's Frank Ranger Jr. Ricardo Cano looked like he did take that fast repair, had to restart at the tail of the field, already past Tyler Price up here to P10. Back up here to the front runners. It's Bobby Blair, Christopher Clore back and up to P2. How about Christopher Clore up 5 positions since the drop of the green flag? That's crazy because there's been, what, 4 green flag laps ran. He's now continued to hound that rear bumper of Bobby Blair, now down to 0.2 of a second. You're going to see some long run versus short run speed. You're also going to see Christopher Clore tap the outside wall once again there. We're going to see that quite a few times, these ARCA Menards machines. They're going to get loose, they're going to get tight there at corner entrance. If you don't manage that throttle pedal and try and save your tires, it's going to get loose on corner exit as well a little bit longer throughout the run. Robert McDonald still trying to make that outside line work. Here comes Neil Lapidus and the number 16 doing it for Biff. Nice move up there, up and across the front nose, but he was clear by a mile. Neil Lapidus back up to P6 after losing 3 spots since the drop of the green flag. He passes Tony Steele there as well, and already here we're getting about 5-6 laps into this run. The tires are going to start to wear. Look at where we're on board here with Tony Steele. Let's see his line. Actually, matter of fact, running into that middle to lower line on corner exit, trying to pass Robert McDonald. If this doesn't work, I don't hate trying to make the outside line work happen for a pass. Ricardo Cano still is going to try to make that inside line work, and I think we are going to start to see some aerodynamic kind of discrepancies here for the number 13. Remember, he did have the chance to come into pit road and take the one fast repair available, did not opt into it. He now, at this point, I believe Tyler Price is just going to have to hold on another caution coming up here pretty soon before he could possibly start looking in at lap traffic territory. These are fast laps around here, this 0.7 mile speedway. It's still Bobby Blair out up front where he started the race. Christopher Clore, TJ Zachary, Tim Blankenbeckler, and Neil Lapidus running in the top 5. Hop on board again with Tony Steele here and just take a lap or two around. You can really start to see, because we're going to compare this later here. Oh, well, that's going to be a distraction to it. That really compromises. Looks like the corner entrance for Tony Steele has to go off the kind of preferred racing line there after seeing Jensen Case tapping the wall there. But if we go to the cockpit cam here as well, I'm going to quiz you on it here later on in the race, YouTube land and YouTube chat, so get ready for it. The lap times ranging in the 22.3 second range right here. And we'll listen in here for a lap here for Tony. It's a rhythm-based racetrack there for Tony Steele. He's keeping his foot in it. Whoa, gets a little bit loose there on corner exits, trying to reel in Jensen Case as well as Neil Lapidus. You're going to find yourself getting in that rhythm as well as maybe even in a sort of a trance here. It's lefts, and more lefts, as well as once your right side starts to wear on this all-left track, you're going to start to deal with that here on the track, and it's how you really manage that, as well as the lines are going to get more gripped up here with the more rubber that gets laid on the track. It's so much that you have to keep in mind here as a driver from this tough Indianapolis Raceway Park. 7 mile raceway. Bobby Blair, Christopher Clore up here battling it out for the race lead. It's 2.5 of a second separating the two. Christopher Clore, it's a home run track. It's a home race track here. Lee's looking for the home run from his home track. And the Expo number 21 Chevrolet SS trying to get ever so closer to the battle for the race lead. Not close enough to make necessarily a move here. But if Christopher Clore, when he is close enough to make a move, where do you do it? You try to make the inside line work and maybe try to avoid all the contact that you can? Or do you try to find maybe the outside line work and try to avoid the outside line wall as well? It's going to be fun to watch. Christopher Clore up 5 positions since the drop of the green. TJ Zachary running in third, up 1 spot. Tim Blankenbeckler up 1 spot as well. We're we're going to see these sparks continue to fly. I mean, look at Bobby Blair starting to push there on corner exits. These tires are going to continue to wear. Your mental state's going to continue to wear. It all comes down to this, well, penultimate race here for 4 drivers, cut off from the round of 8. Points looking like, well, you see them there on the bottom of your screen. Neil, Bobby, Jensen, TJ, and then the cutoff at Tony, Christopher, Ricardo, and Elijah Fisher. Bobby Blair up there leading the race. Christopher Gore running P2. TJ Zachary running P3 up here. And these are consistent lap times that our leaders are running. That's exactly what you want here from a track like IRP. Not too much banking here. It's one of these micro not micro adjustments, but micro aggressivenesses here into one of these corner exits can completely, entrances completely can ruin your race. Checking in on the playoff drivers, TJ Zachary, remember he came into the race plus 1 point from the playoff cutoff line, running in P3. The next driver behind him was Tony Steele, running 1 point behind the playoff cutoff line. Tony running in the 7th position, trying to get around that 75 of Jensen Case. Jensen Case has had also a really nice season here for him in the Chevrolet SS Alp machine, and it's been nice. It's been consistent, as well as it's been fun to watch Jensen between all the different track types that we have. The one super speedway race, these short track races, the intermediates, as well as even road courses. Jensen, he's got pace from each and every single one of them. He's found himself running in P6 right here, trying to hold off Tony Steele. Jensen out of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. He's going to continue on the outside line, allowing Tony Steele to get the cleaner air on that front nose of the Toyota Camry, but not close enough still to make a move for the number 61. Whoa, okay. Jensen Case, they're going to tag the outside wall. That may present the run and kind of opportunity that Tony Steele is looking for. Going back to what I said, it's the smallest thing could take you out of the race tonight, and not necessarily take you out, but definitely out of playoff contention. And that's why we're going to see these drivers push for each and every single inch available. That's why we see Jensen Case here running these hard, aggressive laps, as well as this top, third, fourth, and fifth battle. They're starting to really get close to one another. Remember, Tim Blankenbeckler unfortunately eliminated from playoff and championship contention last round, but he's got some nice pace here tonight, kind of in the meat of the sandwich between TJ Zachary and Neil Lapidus. Let's see what that number 10 has for the number 8 and the 16. Neil continues to, he was closing the gap there on entrance. Whoa, he closes the gap way on corner entrance and then loses it there in corner exit. That's what I was just starting to look at, and then that time, man, I don't know if it was a slight kind of miss there for Tim or Neil, whether it was deeper or maybe a little bit too deep in the braking zone. Teammates going at this battle here for 4th and 5th tonight from IRP. This is another hometown track for another one of our drivers, and it's Neil Lapidus. We're going to hop on board of the number 16 here. He's got the sleeves off for Biff out of Columbus, Indiana, just out and around the road here from IRP. Let's hang on board with here a lap or two with Neil, see if he can close that gap, get closer to Tim. As Tim starts to, I don't know if it's necessarily getting held up, but tries to make a pass over TJ Zachary. TJ gets a little bit loose. Slight bit off the throttle for Neil there, trying to keep it off that back bumper of his teammates as well as TJ Zachary. That was a nice opportunity and a nice pass there for Tim. A slight little slip up for the number 8 of TJ Zachary, and now it's Tim Blankenbeckler into the final driver interview position. There's only about 20 more laps until that stage break. TJ Zachary still trying to roll the outside line. Neil's going to get a little tight there on corner exit, wash up the racetrack. No contact between the two. Whoa, TJ comes down a little bit there off the straight off the straight the start-finish line there. That got close there, could have been worse. Now we're going to run toward the door, going and back into turn 3. Jensen Case, we've seen this from him the whole season. He tries to make the passes as aggressive, but as most methodical and as most racecraft in the way that he can. That's another version of it there. He waits, he abides his time, Jensen with the patience, with the is that even a thing? Patience, the aggressive, but that's exactly what we saw there for Jensen in the 75. Take another look at it. TJ Zachary starting to maybe push those tires just a little bit earlier on in the race, starting to fall just a little bit. If you want to sing it like Bob Sager, like a rock. There goes Neil down the inside, and then here comes one, count them, two other positions. Well, it was side by side, and then here it gets done here in 3 and 4 with the number 75. We'll go back out here to the race lead where we got Bobby Blair and Christopher Clore still saying to get him out of here. We got a battle for the race lead heating up on our hands going into the stage break. It's lap 40, stage break at or around lap 63. Bobby Blair, Christopher Clore, now 0.2 of a second back to that gap we go, and it's starting to shrink ever so slightly once again. That sounded great. Christopher Clore, Neil called it. Christopher Clore back up to P2. Let's see what he can do. Yes, he was within that 0.2 of a oh man, that 0.2 of a second gap. He's still flirting with disaster, still running about right there with him. Bobby Blair trying to, I don't necessarily think he's running the defensive lines yet, but he definitely knows he's there. He is peeking in that rear view mirror, sees Christopher Clore continue to run a little closer and closer. Now that we did start to mention it, though, I think it might be the Sean and Tater curse. Christopher Clore now loses 0.2 on that 0.2 second that he had up here, trying to reel in our race lead. Tony Steele, Jensen Case still going at it after they've made their pass over TJ Zachary. TJ's now fallen back 1.3 seconds back between them. Tony Steele trying to make that inside line work, not really having it. It's Jensen Case back up to P5. That's 3 on the day. Tony Steele tried to steal one away here, coming to our stage break. I say steal. No, never mind there. That fast track racing out machine up there up in front. He's got the admin box all over the spoiler. He's going to maybe need an admin box to look to the right here. It'll be door to door on corner exits. They'll still run side by side. Not quite clear as the number 21. Oh boy, let's see. He's going to run the shorter way around the track, but that momentum is going to carry with the slight incline that we have. What is it? 7% incline, I think it is, around the track. Excuse me, up and around the progressive banking. Tony Steele looks like he is able to get that pass done here, but I wouldn't call out Jensen Case of the battle just yet. And if you're a Robert McDonald, the Peanuts fan, oh man, he was hoping for that other next caution to use that faster pair. Unfortunately shown 1 lap down at the time being. If he's able to hold off another lap until the stage break, he's going to at least get the wave around the lucky dog and back on the lead lap. Looking at the live timing map up there on the top right of the screen, Bobby Blair and Christopher Clore just now entering turn 1. Robert McDonald is, let's see, in the 11th lip. Robert McDonald just now entering turn 1. So the leader and Robert McDonald separated by about halfway around the track right now. Bobby Blair still sitting at about a 0.3 of a second lead, and he's trying to do everything that he can to hold them off, because remember, it's not just the competition caution, it is the stage break. We're going to hand out some points in this playoff battle that is very, very tight at the line. TJ Zachary +1, Tony Steele -1, Bobby Blair, well, I should have started with Bobby Blair, excuse me, +4, sitting second in the point standings, and Christopher Clore sitting 6th in the point standings, -2 from the line. If Christopher Clore can get a race win tonight, not only does he lock himself into the championship round at Kansas, but he kind of locks in those extra points, that kind of slight extra point advantage that you'd get, as well as, hey, if you could get, if you kind of get a double whammy, if you could win both the stage break and the race, which I think is definitely possible for one of these two front runners, that could be a huge huge jump in the points. That could be what you need to possibly call the championship yours. We've been championship running since the start of the season, but right now is when you all have to put it on show. Right now is when every single lap here is going to matter. It looks like Frank Ranger Jr. up in the number 17 Toyota Camry going to go down one lap there. Every single lap matters. Every single position matters. Every single lap traffic car is going to matter as well. You never know. Speaking of never know, Jensen Case down in pit lane with that 50% fuel, about 9 laps to go to the stage break. It looks like, I don't think that these drivers are going to have enough into the stage break. Jensen Case down and into pit lane. Tony Steele is also in the number 61. I would really imagine that all these drivers have to, you would imagine that you see them down there before the stage break there, because now that I think the cycle has really started. Seeing that cycle start, I really don't think that anybody's going to have enough fuel in their Sunoco fuel tank. It's Bobby Blair, Christopher Clore still battling it out for the race lead. Gap stays about the same between the two, but now there's going to be a little bit more lap traffic. I wouldn't imagine Jensen Case is going to be a factor there, because he does have some newer tires. At least I would imagine so on that number 75 machine. There goes Tony Steele. He's going to go down one lap for the time being, but he'll get it right back after these leaders do pit. If they do have enough here at or around that stage break on lap 63, this is going to be quite a stretch. There's no way in heck, because here comes Tyler Price in the Chevrolet SS, another driver up there in the points standings. Excuse me, no, I'm not seeing Tyler Price within running in the championship battle, but we appreciate him coming here tonight, as well as, I mean, he's had some really nice fast laps, continued to have some nice battles of his own. Speaking of nice battles, it's going to heat up once again. Bobby Blair, Christopher Clore now within that 1/10 of a second range. Christopher Clore trying to do everything that he can to try and get down there, out and around the outside on corner exits. Doesn't look like he has it. He might have it here on corner entrance, though. Whoa, Christopher Clore gets sideways. No, no, no. This could be huge playoff implications. The 21 goes around on corner exit, tried to carry a little bit too much speed. This is a very, very interestingly timed caution here, because half the field has pits, half the field has not. Blair, Blankenbeckler, Clore, TJ Zachary, Frank Ranger Jr. all staying out, have not yet to pit. Ricardo Cano on pit lane as the caution flag flies. Lapidus, Jensen Case, Tony Steele, Tyler Price, and Robert McDonald are, well, Robert McDonald down there in pit lane, but still those last couple names I mentioned did already pit. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see where this cycles out here too. Looks like, oh man, we're going to have to back this up really quick. Hang on, apologies here. I really think that Tim here may have just entered a closed pit in terms of just trying to get some fuel into it. I'm gonna hop on board with him here and just see when exactly. I know it was this lap. He could have been so low on fuel. We're gonna double check this right quick, or see if the pit lane was actually open. All right, so we're on board with him here. We should see him as well as Bobby Blair and TJ Zachary head in. Oh, I don't see any pit entrance lights. Okay, I think he might be fine, but if you do see Tim down there have to start towards the rear of the field, I would imagine that would be why. Bobby Blair is in pit lane, and he does it the next lap afterwards, so that may be the case, not showing a penalty or anything yet for the Tim Blankenbeckler machine. Christopher Clore, he's going to restart IRP 3. We're going to get things cycled out and around here, as well as, well, yeah, I would imagine those drivers who did not just pit were so close there that they have to pit under this caution, as well as, remember, with that stage break, with our points here that we have yet to give out coming towards the green flag, we might have just a quick couple lap shootout here before that lap 63 to lap 64 stage break. see if we double them up this time by. Nope, lights are still going to. Oh, no, the lights are out on the iRacing safety car. Looks like we're going to get a wave around. Tony Steele gets his lap back there. That's nice because the timing was just so. I mean, it's risk versus reward. It's gambling out here, staying out a little bit later portion. It looks like Tim Blankenbeckler, no penalty. I stand corrected. He's going to restart this race in the first position. There goes a couple of waiver rounds. The iRacing safety pace car is off right here. We are of only 5 cars up here out of 11 coming towards the take. The
Hang
green
on, we're not going green.
flag. Nope, they're going to throw out the caution one more time. And that's the right move right there from race control. None of these drivers, after all getting the wave rounds there with the untimely caution, were caught back up to the field. Very, very nice job for race control to kind of get this back up and restacked and possibly in time for racing 4 before that stage break. All right, so leading this race restarts, it's going to be Tim Blankenbeckler, Christopher Clore, Bobby Blair, TJ Zachary, Neil Lapidus, Jensen Case, Ricardo Cano, and Frank Ranger. That's the top 8. Tony Steele, Tyler Price, and Robert McDonald shown 1 lap down. All right, let's try it again, ladies and gents. We're about to be under caution. Yep, this is going to be a 2 to 3 lap shootout here for our stage break. Christopher Clore, after spinning coming to the race, the pit lane there, he's back out to the race lead. Couldn't have been a better timed caution than that. Tim Blankenbeckler, he falls back to P2. It's Bobby Blair, Neil Lapidus, as well as the number 61, Tony Steele, showing 1 lap down right here. All Tony Steele has to do is finish in front of Tyler Price. There's the yellow flag. Tony Steele finishes in front of Tyler Price. He should get the lucky dog. It's Christopher Clore should win our stage break. Nice stage win there for Christopher, and what a lucky dog. I mean, literally, the lucky dog. Oh, I don't think he was actually, but in terms of the timing on that caution, now that we have a brief moment for it, I'm going to try and find where Christopher Clore, let's see here, enter the pits. This should be it right here. Okay. Apologies for that. Here we go. This should be it right here. He had it saved, and then it clipped the grass out and around, and pretty much, well, kind of on the racing, not necessarily the racing line, but the asphalt it will go. No other choice there for RC but to throw the yellow, and the timing on that is just so crazy. That's, like I said, it was playoff implications when it happened, and now that could be playoff saving, the playoff saving grace here for Christopher. We've seen the pace that he's had. This race could have been botched here for him. We're going to have to see what he can do from the second half. Bobby Blair, TJ Zachary, Neil Lapidus, Jensen Case. There's the race off pit lane. It's going to be TJ Zachary right in front of Bobby Blair. He gets P4 on this race, restarts. Nice pit stop there for TJ. Full of Sunoco race fuel as well as 4-tire pit stop. Bobby Blair comes out second on pit lane. There's Jensen Case. There's Tony Steele, as well as looks like Neil down there just now off of pit lane. Frank Ranger Jr., will he get his lap back? It looks like it. He's in that RCC number 17 Toyota Camry running in the 9th position. Tyler Price running 10th. Looks like he got his lap back as well. Robert McDonald takes the fast repair that he needed desperately earlier on in the race, but shown 1 lap down. No, it looks like he may be possibly getting a lucky doggy here. Oh, no, look there. I think he's going to have to start now to the end of the field, so should be our 1 driver 1 lap down. Let's go back to Neil's paint scheme because this is pretty special. We already had the brief moment of silence here for it earlier, but that's such just a nice tribute. I know we've had a couple drivers here tonight to kind of tribute to the Biff. I'm about to rip off my sleeves, and hopefully everybody joins me. That's just very, very well done, Neil, as well as everything that you've done for our race league. Speaking of race league, we got another one starting up here. It's the Stam Studio Network, ran within these within same league here, but I'm sponsoring it. Stam Studio Network Truck Series. Hopefully, some of these drivers, if not all of them, have themselves entered into that. It's a bang for your buck on the race entries. We get quite a few races on the season, all broadcasted here, as well as we're looking at about 15 drivers in the league right now, so just waiting on a couple more until we get the green flag on the league. We're going to take the green flag here tonight through the second half of our penultimate race on the season. Before we go to Kansas for championship round, we got to cut off cut off 4 of these 8 playoff contending drivers. We're going to take the green flag here. It's Christopher Clore, Tim Blankenbeckler, TJ Zachary, and then there's Jensen Case. How about Ricardo Keno? He's on a comeback here tonight, and the Satori racing at number 25, Ford Mustang. He's going to try to run the inside line here, running for P5. Came into the race 4 points down on the playoff cutoff line, in the 7th position in the point standings. We'll see if he can do what they say can't be done here tonight. As the number 75, oh no! Tim Blankenbeckler has contact. Ricardo Keno has major damage again. That's going to be the 75 involved as well. Jensen Case, Frank Ranger Jr., Robert McDonald. Looks like he was hard on the brakes. I don't think there's going to be much damage on the peanut machine. Oh man, we've only had what, 2 cautions here tonight? Actually, well, 4, but the 2 cautions that have been right off the start of the race. Let's see what happens here, right up in front of where Ricardo Keno is running. Yeah, that's going to be, oh, Tim Blankenbeckler once again involved in the caution right off the start. Looks like he gets clipped, and I think it's going to be deja vu. I think it's the exact 2 drivers, kind of same scenarios, different laps here. Take a look at it here, and we'll slow it down. Oh, man, TJ just looks a little too deep into the zone. I don't know if Tim knew it was coming. Around goes Tim. At this point, Ricardo Keno, Neil Lapidus, the 75, the 55, Bobby Blair, one of the faster other drivers in the race. Not talking about, well, I'm also talking huge playoff implications, but also who has used their faster pair earlier on in the race. I know Ricardo Keno has. The front end is definitely shown. Oh, it's same right side damage, not as bad as what it was earlier on in the race. Matter of fact, not even opting to come down and take the damage repair there. I know I saw TJ Zachary down there into the pits. Looks like he's opted for just a little bit of damage repair. Neil Lapidus, he shouldn't have too much in the number 16. Matter of fact, it looks new right off the lot. Bobby Blair in the number 55. Remember, he was battling out here for the race lead earlier. Came into the race 4 points good on the cutoff. Now he's going to have to race restarts here in the 8th position. If you're just now joining in, well, first of all, welcome in, welcome in. My name's Sean Stam. I'm producing, directing, and commentating the show tonight on Stam Studio Network. Well, every night. We're a little bit over halfway, lap 72 out of 125. Leader Christopher Clore. How many laps has he led, you ask? Well, I'm glad you do, because we can do this real quick. Christopher led 11 laps here thus far, as well as we've had 4 cautions for 16 laps and only 1 lead change. That was, Bobby Blair was our race leader earlier on in the race, and now Christopher, so only 2 different race leaders. Now the 21 out up front. Let's see what Tony Steele can do. Remember, Tony Steele was down a lap earlier on in this race. Now Tony, look at him, he's going to race restarts here on the inside. This could be another nice comeback story. Frank Ranger, he's going to restart P3, Ricardo Keno P4. Hopefully that damage isn't too much there on that 25 Ford Mustang, and the black and yellow can, I wouldn't say necessarily kill a fellow, but the black and yellow of Ricardo Keno can survive into our championship round. That's what's on all of these drivers' minds tonight. It's survival. It's going into Kansas with, just with being there for a chance to win the championship. We're going to go back to some green flag racing here. Let's see what Christopher Clore can do on that outside line. Nice restart again for him. Shoots out of a cannon. Next battle's back. It's going to be between the 16 and 17. Neil and Frank. Neil's got the more preferred racing lineup there up top. He's going to continue to, matter of fact, even try to look down the inside of Ricardo Cano. Not close enough to make the move there. TJ Zachary drifts up the track there on the top of the screen. We're going to complete lap 1 of this race. Restart 75 out of lap 125. Here comes Bobby Blair. We saw how fast he was earlier on in the race. It will be side by side between two playoff drivers here trying to make their way into the championship race. Neil Lapidus, nice pass, and the number 16 there, or at least able to hold Ricardo off from taking that final driver the final driver interview spot. Christopher Clore, he did have the nice race restart there, but not really able to put too much of a gap there on Tony Steele. Tony, now we're starting to see some nice space here out of this Toyota Camry as it's starting to get ready to get to go time. Nice battle here between Ricardo Cano and Bobby Blair. Neil has now cleared that battle up into P3. Bobby's going to try to look down the inside. What a season that Traxxas Toyota Camry has had. He's going to still be there. Whoa, it's going to get tight there on corner exit. Almost contact. I think there was definitely a bump between the two. Bobby Blair got way loose. He had to really shorten up that the speed as well as the angle there entering into the corner. He's able to get the pass done. Ricardo Cano dealing with some extreme right side damage right here. Just trying to hang on. Trying to hope another caution comes out here to where he can try and get that thing fixed back up for what it's worth. I'm not sure just how long those repairs would take if they're all able to get him back and back to optimal pace. Speaking of a driver back to optimal pace, it's Tim Blankenbeckler. Looks like he did use his fast repair. Doesn't really have too much damage in the Pond Prowler number 10. The Pond Prowler is going to search around the outside line. He's going to continue to find some positions tonight. Tim back up to V9. Go back up to the battle for the race lead. Christopher Clore trying to run away, but hey, say it ain't so, or it's easier said than done. Should I stay or should I go? Whatever one you want to say. Christopher Clore, he's trying to manage that gap, but also, remember, we not only saw the extreme tire wear earlier on in the race. Yeah, here comes the pop quiz. I warned you it was coming. Anyone that gets it right gets a little shout out down there live in YouTube land, maybe even a little free SSN merch. What was the top speed that we saw for these drivers heading into the corners as we headed onto that live shot of Tony Steele earlier on in the race? I'll give you a hint, it was above 100. Tony Steele trying to steal one away. I remember saying that earlier, and he's doing just that just right now. But remember, all these drivers trying to hang on. It's going to be long run versus short run. You don't want to put the short run speed on it here. You want to have the long run pace. You want to have the speed and grip in these general tires coming to 10 and 15 laps to go once we eventually do get there. But tires are one thing, right? But fuel strategy, that's going to be another. We saw some drivers, it was a talking point of the century here as Neil Lapidus is going to try to looking down into the inside. Our points leader coming into the race. This is a hard pass. It puts even more temperature as well as wear on that front and right rear tire. He's going to continue to drift it up the racetrack there. He's not quite having that run there on quarter exit to make this P2 spot happen. They both get way loose on quarter exit. Neil Lapidus is going to have to get way hard on the brake pedal. Tony Steele somehow holding off P2. Tony Steele came into the race 1 point down from the playoff cutoff line. Neil Lapidus came into the race within our playoff championship points leading, but only +5 to the good. It's playoff battles here that cannot get much better than this. You're watching the Admin Box Midwest Elite Series racing live on STAM Studio Network. Neil Lapidus, after trying to make the battle for P2 happen, loses to Bobby Blair. Says thank you very much. He is now up to that final driver interview position, and here comes Tony Steele. He's done his waiting. He's done his patience, but don't burn him off too too quick. There's still so long to go in this race. I know the championship trophy, it's almost like it's right up there in front of you, but with our penultimate rounds, you have to realize we still got one more to go. This is just to lock yourself into it. Tony Steele, can he do that tonight? He was one lap down earlier on in the race, 9 position gains since the drop of the green flag. Tony, 61, Mobile 1, currently running P2. Bobby Blair, there's the storyline for him there. I know we mentioned it, but we saw that she was our only other driver to lead laps tonight here at Brownsburg, Indiana, at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Bobby Blair starting to stalk and creep his way back up to the battle for the race lead. It's now 0.2 of a second between P1, 0.2 of a second between P2, and between 2, 3, and 4. Neil Lapidus is, that's what I was mentioning there. I saw his lime green gloves go to work trying to make that pass on the inside line, and I want to say maybe it was just a little bit too early. 90 out of 125. We still should have pit stop strategies that should play a factor here coming towards the white and checkered flag. Remember, from Daytona, we definitely saw that. We saw the 2 drivers completely run out of fuel on the white flag lap. You don't want to be in that position here from another playoff race, especially if you were already in that position before. You know exactly what it's going to take. I think these drivers are making the adjustments on their black boxes right here, right now. They're going to adjust their fuel, how much they're going to put in the car, as well as let me know down there live on YouTube land. I need to check on the quiz results, but as well as let me know if you're going to put some tires here. You're going to pull the Denny Hamlin 4 tires, you're going to pull the Larson 2 tires, or I think the pit stop strategy is going to be a no-tire pit stop. Got to risk it for the biscuit, says Dylan. Dylan, appreciate you joining in here tonight if you're still with us. It's cool to see you in here, as well as Myers Racing still hanging out, as well as Ted. Terry has joined the broadcast chat, as well as Bobby Blair. Going to try to find that inside line. Here he comes down there on the back straightaway. He's going to have the inside. Tony Steele, does he give it up? No, he's going to try to get that throttle pedal. No, he is going to give it up. It looks like he was going to try to fight it there for a brief moment, but I don't hate this at all for Tony Steele. He's got the long run strategy in his mind right here. Probably has the mathing in his head where he needs to finish depending on what drivers are running where. Speaking of that, we will have that for you available right after the broadcast, right after the interviews here. We'll do some math behind the scenes, and our wonderful league owners can get it all figured and make it unofficially official. Back to the battle for the race lead. We've been seeing it continue to heat up. It was between Tony Steele, not quite able to make it happen. Remember, Neil Lapidus and Tony Steele going at it. Neil not able to make that pass happen. Let's see if Bobby Blair, let's see if he can do what he's been doing the whole second half of this race and make the pass happen. Not only just another average pass here, but it's going to be a pass for the race lead. It's so fun to watch these different lines start to go to work here tonight. If we take the, here we go, the best shot at for some different line work. Bobby Blair, let's kind of compare and contrast here with only 30 laps to go. Keep in mind, still have that late stop that we need to make. Bobby Blair, way deep into the inside, well, actually middle race line of the track. You can call it the inside because there's no way that you're running that the orange and the yellow line there unless it's just off the race restarts. Bobby Blair is trying to shorten up the track as much as he can. Christopher Clore, kind of more of a diamond there on the number 21, and that's where I think that we're going to see the very kind of long run speed, the long run strategy, and the winning pace and the winning speed is from those diamond kind of exits and those entrants that we see from the number 21. He's going to continue to do it lap after lap after lap. Wow, really cuts down their corner exit. Maybe trying to cut off there just a little bit of clean air that is available to Bobby Blair. Look at Tony Steele break traction there on corner exit. Somehow stays within a second of a striking distance. Hey, let's talk about striking distance. Here we go. Less than a tenth of a second. Bobby Blair's going to try to look down the inside. Coming down there in 3 and 4. Let's see if he has what it takes to make it stick. This is playoff battles up here for the race lead, which will contend into championship battles in our next race. Bobby Blair up 4 spots on the good coming into this race. Points. It's Christopher Clore. It's the home track hero who's trying to make one happen here tonight. Coming into the race below the playoff cutoff line. He doesn't necessarily have to win, I don't think, but he wants to win. He's begging for this win here tonight. It just means that much more in this MERSSN Admin Box ARCA Series. Only 25 more laps to go. It's going to get good. We're going to start to beat up and broil and maybe even bang up here. Top 2 going at it, top 3 and 4 going at it for that final driver interview position. Liking what I'm seeing out of the number 16 Biff Machine. Neil's going to cool those right side tires down and going to try and find another passing opportunity here. It's not over just yet for either one of these top 4 drivers. Hey, there could also be another caution that completely changes everything. We should still see a pit stop strategy. That could also shake and bake things up. It's going to come down to the last 23 laps. Who, if, or when makes a pit stop. Christopher Clore, 0.2 of a second, back to about kind of what the average has been for the race lead, and it's now 0.7 back for Tony Steele separating Bobby Blair. It's going to look like it's going to be between these top 2 battles. Easier said than done getting off and on a pit lane, and easier said than done to avoid contact between the 2 there. Bobby Blair doing everything that he can to try and stay as close as he can to get a passing opportunity, but as well as stay as close as he can to that rear bumper without making contact. He almost did down there on the exit, entrance and exit of 1 and 2. Let's see what happens here as they head their way back through 1 and 2 this time. Bobby Blair kind of drifts up the racetrack a little bit. That's going to open up the door for Tony Steele, except Christopher Clore, he really loses a lot there on corner exit. That opens the door right back up for Bobby Blair. Christopher Clore now moves a lane down the track. Christopher Clore now starting to run the line that Bobby Blair was running. This is going to start to get good. It's now the yins and yangs of short track racing. It's going to be your favorite driver, going to have to switch him up. He's going to have to run where he wasn't running before. Christopher Clore, he's going to shut off that inside line once more. Bobby Blair, he's now just going to keep it patient, try and keep it as close as he can, but patience might be is what kills him as Tony Steele starts to close that gap. Here comes Bobby Blair, tries to drive it down as hard as he can to the inside line. He's there. It's going to be side by side on corner exit for playoff hopes here tonight. Bobby Blair not able to pin that throttle pedal there on corner exit. He's going to have to regroup and rearm. There's only 19 coming, 18 laps to go. What do you do if you're Bobby Blair, Tony Steele, Neil Lapidus? You've been behind the number 21 for the whole second half of this race. It's all coming down here to this. It's coming down to Bobby Blair and his outside line. It doesn't quite have it. He's going to have to try again, or just try to get a little bit closer. But it's going to be tire wear. It's going to be fuel strategy, which should come into a play. This is going to get good. I don't know what we're about to see. It could be either one of these front 4 drivers who takes away the race win coming into championship battles from Kansas. I believe it's next week. Still side by side. Whoa, hang on to her, Neil. Neil had to way get out of the gas there just to live to fight another day. No, Neil, no. Now he gets with the outside wall and trying to, that all started there off of corner exit. He was loose. It shot him down to the inside of the track and completely screwed up the angle. Battles for that final driver interview position. Still, Tony Steele, he was battling for the race lead. Now just trying to play some defense here. That's what I mentioned a couple laps ago. Your driver that was on the offense, he's going to have to play some defense now. Or your driver that was on the defense, he's going to have to play some offense now. It's back to Bobby Blair and Christopher Clore, back to the race lead. What do they have here for us out of turn number 4? Looks like Bobby Blair is starting to struggle with a little bit of grip in that Traxxas number 55 Toyota Camry. He'll try and close that gap once more going into turn 1. Almost contact between the 2 for the race lead. Say it ain't so. He'll live. Bobby Blair, no contact here just yet on corner exit. exit. Well, he's going to try and search for that outside line up there. Tire marbles are starting to become a factor as well, at least on corner entrance. You can kind of start to see what looks like it's tire marbles up there. Yeah, you can. There's not as many in 1 and 2 than on the entrance of 3 and 4 here. We can kind of catch it on this camera angle. That really is going to limit the racing lines available for use for Bobby Blair and Christopher Clore. Christopher, he continues to run the inside kind of defensive line. Bobby Blair, he's cut off right now for a move down the inside. He is contact, pancakes, IHOP to the outside wall. Sparks starting to fly. 12 laps to go. That's just a little over 6 miles if my math is mathing. The gap is now down to 1/10. No, it's now down to 0.2 of a second. Still not close enough. And is it time? It is. With only 12 laps in the race, it's pit stop time. We've seen this earlier. It's going to, how well that you're able to get on and off of pit lane is going to determine a race win tonight. It could possibly determine who gets cut off from championship contention, depending on who is running where. Christopher Clore, Bobby Blair, still not opting to pit this lap. We'll see who tries to run this strategy just a little bit longer. Tony Steele is in. Tyler Price is in. Our top 7 drivers still out on the racetrack. Bobby Blair still trying to close the gap. And these tires that have, virtually zero grip left in them, you've worn them down to the treads. 10 laps left here from this 0.7 mile raceway. What better way to go into the holiday break and in championship battles here? Christopher Clore, Bobby Blair, it's now down to 0.2 of a second once again. Bobby, if you have anything left here in the Sunoco fuel tank, not only physically, but as well as mentally, right now is when we're going to need to see it here, man. 9 coming to 8 laps to go. There's no way in heck that these drivers have enough fuel to make it. Unless they could be running those fuels within the chassis bars. You never know. Christopher Clore, Bobby Blair, it might be contact. It's going to be close going into 3 and 4. There may have been a slight nudge out of the exit of 1 and 2, but back to it here. Back to work. Bobby Blair is going to have to go 8, coming to 7 laps to go. Christopher Clore is continuing to run that middle to inside line. Bobby Blair is going to have a nice run out of here on corner exit. Here comes the Traxxas number 55. Bobby Blair in the Toyota Camry out and around the outside. He has door quarter clear. Bobby Blair to the race lead after a slight miss up there for Christopher Clore there in corner exit. Here's another look at it here. So look at how close Bobby was. It almost like he got him so loose, and then here's just a fast forward here briefly to it. It was really there. It's almost like he I don't think we're downshift, but it looks like dang near missed a gear for the Christopher Clore machine, or maybe just possibly given the point by. You never know. These drivers could have the playoff driver math within their head. Bobby Blair to the race lead. He came into this line, into the race above the cutoff line, so he's definitely locked and loaded into the next round. Christopher Clore, depending on where these other drivers finish, it's going to be close. But him finishing P2 tonight should have it done. Don't count me on it, but he should have his way locked in into the next round. Neil Lapidus, after some hard-fought battles here from IRP tonight, it's two hometown drivers here going for running second and third. As here comes Tyler Price, showing 1 lap down, still trying to make a pass there on Neil Lapidus. Tim Blankenbeckler, after contact, then spun there on both race restarts of the race. Tim, he is now sitting in the P4 position. Nice run tonight for the Tim's Tiny Boat Adventures Pond Prowler, number 10. Jensen Case, we saw some nice passes and some nice ethical racecraft here, just as we've seen from all these drivers all season. But Jensen Case, nice run tonight if he's keeping it moving, grooving, running in the 5th and 6th. TJ Zachary, Frank Ranger, and Tony Steele, that's is 6th, 7th, and 8th. Tyler Price, Ricardo Keno, and Robert McDonald. It's coming to the white flag lap after Bobby Blair got it done within those last couple of laps, coming towards the white and checkered. I don't know how he's still got enough fuel within the tank. Remember, we saw before that competition, before the stage break, that the drivers made their pit stops. Well, it's going to be all strategy run here tonight for the Bobby Blair machine. Number 55, he only has 2 more turns to go. as well as, man, look at the gap now to Christopher Clore. That's now to 4.5. Call it 5 seconds. Hey, Bobby Blair, he's ready to go championship racing in the Admin Box Midwest Elite Racing Series. Congratulations, Bobby Blair, making IRP his own. Whoa, here we go. Contact coming across the line. Neil Lapidus, Christopher Clore, Jetson Case, and then there's Tim Blankenbeckler across the line. 4P5, barely. TJ Zachary, Frank Ranger Jr., Tony Steele, Tyler Price, Ricardo Keno, and Robert McDonald. All righty, stick with us here on STAM Studio Network. We'll have some unofficial, official race results. We'll have some driver interviews here in a few moments' time. And we're going to allow the one, the only Bobby Blair to burn it down. Oh! Bobby Blair contacted the wall. Hey, that'll get it through OSS there. All righty, congratulations to our drivers. What a race, what a season. It's coming down to penultimate round racing. It's all over, and I unfortunately do have to break some news. Eliza Fisher not making it to the round of 4. Ricardo Keno not making it to the round of 4. Yeah, now this is going to be close. Christopher Clore, him finishing P3. I do believe he has made it. Tony Steele, he came into the race -1 point at that cutoff line. It's so close. We're gonna have to wait here for Neil. He's gonna confirm some things in a few moments' time. Alrighty, taking looks at some unofficial, official race results. Bobby Blair, he's gonna get it done there. Pole sitter from the front to the back up to the front again. Congratulations, man. What a race, what a win. It's going to be Neil Lapidus and P2. What a race for him. He's definitely locked and loaded and ready to go into championship round. Christopher Clore ends up P3 to Hometown Heroes, P2, P3. Jetson Case, Tim Blankenbeckler, TJ Zachary, Frank Ranger, Tony Steele, Tyler Price, Ricardo Keno, and Robert McDonald out of LLR will round out our 11 driver field here tonight. What a race it was, and then I'm going to mosey my way on over down there into the live virtual driver interview booth here. Oh man, I cannot wait for this. This is going to be a fun interview. Stick around here.
Line on the backstretch, and I misplaced it, and I'm like, I'm going to pit this lap, but then I'm like, I'm in way too deep, and it just, yeah, that's definitely my fault for sure.
Hey, that's fun.
Hey, Bobby Blair, this is Sean Stam. You got yourself a copy, man.
Hey, gotcha.
Well, Bobby, you led 65 laps here tonight from the pole back to the back, and then, hey, right back up to the front, man. What's going through your minds right now in the 55, and how'd you get it done?
That was a great race. Hats off to the 21. It's always a good battle with him. And just stayed, persistent and hit my lines and just lap after lap and trying to save a little fuel, ease on the throttle, and made it work at the end. But that was a nail biter there, and I thought it was going to be door banging at the end.
Man, I thought it was going to be door banging. I thought it was going to be stuttering as well, man. Do you have to save some fuel on that last stint?
No. I set my margin laps pretty decent, and me and my teammate TJ, we pitted on a stage break, so we were good all the way to the end. So.
Well, what a race it was here for you, Bobby. That'll definitely lock you into the next round. What are your minds? Where is your mind heading into Kansas for the championship?
Just keep it consistent. That's all. A lot of these league races that I join or race in, I always make a mistake here and there, and it kind of screws up my race. So, just trying to hit my marks and keep the momentum going now.
Well, Bobby, we appreciate you hanging out and give us a few words here after the race, and best of luck going into championship, and have a happy holidays, man.
Hey, man. Thanks again for a killer stream.
Hey, real quick, one final thing. Who are you dedicating your win tonight?
dedicated to the league tonight. Neil,
Woo.
once again, hats off to beginning of the season was a little frustrating, but I think we all found our rhythm and found our pace, and we've been having some real good clean racing. So, and not just Neil, the admins of the league too. So hats off to you guys.
I appreciate it, Bobby, and have a great rest of your night and happy holidays to you.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks.
All right, this one's gonna be special. Neil, you got yourself a copy. How about it, man?
Oh, I sure do. Here I am.
We had late night last night and some racing back here, opposite of what we were doing last night. Short track racing tonight. It's your home track as well. How about the B2? Wow, are you feeling right now, Neil?
You know, I'm ecstatic, man. I've finished second place the last 2 races. It's been by far my best 2 races in the season, and for them to happen right in the playoffs, I mean, it could not be a better time. I'm just so ecstatic. And, you know, to get out there and rep the number 16 in honor of Greg Biffle, his family, and the other 3 that passed away in that plane crash, it's extra special to me. I mean, shout out to Greg Biffle for the legacy that he left behind. Just absolute humanitarian, and it's so sad what happened to him, his family, and the 3 others. I'm devastated by that, and so I'm glad I was able to get out here and get a podium spot repping that number 16 tonight. I'm through the moon right now.
God, that was so much fun to watch, Neil. I mean, your passes down and around the inside, clean, methodical. I thought you had burnt up the rights there a little bit earlier on trying to make the pass. Then, man, speed came right back up to you. Congratulations tonight, man. This is fun to watch. And then, where's your mind's headed at going into Kansas?
Well, I'm sitting here looking at the final 4 here that I just updated. Bobby Blair, me, Jensen, and Christopher Clore have made it into that final 4. So I just got to stay headstrong and beat the other 3. You know, it's extra special. You know, Christopher Clore sitting right in here. He's a Brownsburg native here, so it's his home track too, and it's always a little special beating him, but to beat him at his home track, that's even a little better.
Well, Neil, we appreciate it, man, and cannot wait for championship racing, as well as our truck series that's going to start. But before we let you get going, how about it? Who are we shouting out tonight here?
Yeah, first and foremost, I just want to thank you putting on another fabulous broadcast for us each and every week. The amount of work you do behind the scenes does not go unnoticed. We definitely appreciate it. Definitely want to shout out all the guys in here for the clean racing. Every single person in here is an absolute fabulous driver. I have a blast out here every single week, and to be able to call it my own league is extra special. Definitely want to shout out my wife for putting up with me and letting me do this every week. She puts up with a lot with me, so me, my 3 kids, and 1 more on the way. So you know, it's she puts up with a lot in this household, all boys. So she has to manage a lot. But yeah, I want to shout out my sponsors. Shout out the league sponsors: Tier 1 Setup Shop, Admin Box, Thrustmaster, Ranger Creative Concepts for the trophy, and Stamp Studio Network, who's a league sponsor for our upcoming truck series. Want to shout out Osaka Outdoors, my car sponsor. Not repping it this week, of course, but you can visit osakaoutdoors.com for any archery accessories or apparel. So just thanks again.
Hey, thank you so much, Neil. I know I've said it before, but I mean, car, track combat, drivers, I mean, shoot, you name it all. You couldn't have put on a much better season than this, and man, I can't wait for that truck series to start up as well.
Yeah, appreciate it. Congratulations again, Bobby, and congrats on the 3rd place, Chris.
Speaking of Chris, hey, let's bring him up in here. Chris, how's it going, man? How was your race tonight?
You know, Sean, I think I'm a pretty lucky guy. Man, almost 2 weeks in a row I run out of gas for not pitting at the stage, Carson. But I really didn't want to pit because it was so hard to pass here, and I saw it took Bobby well over 30-40 laps to come back to even me, and I was saving. And I don't know, towards the end I realized that I was going to be way too short, and I knew what I had to do. I knew I didn't have to win, but I needed to beat TJ by, I believe, 2, and tone steel by 1. So, and I also got the stage point at the stage. So, I don't know. It's a crazy race. Yeah.
Man, stage point at the halfway mark, as well as, man, the spin at the halfway mark just before that caution, man. What was going through your mind there besides, oh, bleep?
I'm an absolute idiot.
Oh, no.
I knew Bobby and I were so close in the stage 1. I was just kind of just staying with him. It was just so identical, and it's so impossible to pass. And so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try to pit maybe 2 or 3 laps early here. Maybe I might get him. And by the time I realized I was past my braking point, it was too late. And yeah, I'm sure I looked like a total idiot on the stream, but that's okay. We'll move on to next week and hopefully forget about it.
Oh man, what a race, what a finish, and also what a season here for you, Christopher. It's no fluke that you're up here within our playoff contenders here. I know you're saying lucky doggy tonight, but man, what pace, what racecraft throughout the season, and I can't wait to watch you battle it out there for a championship in 1 week's time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I want to shout out Bobby. Obviously, he did a terrific job, drove an awesome race, very quick. Obviously. Neil for a well-managed race, even though he beat me, and I hate that, but that's all right. I'll shout out you, of course. Always an awesome broadcast. Watch them every week. I know I say it every week when I get an interview, but I do watch them. You do an awesome job. I appreciate you. Shout out my wife. Obviously, she puts up with a lot of stupid stuff that I do, but that's okay. And I look forward to next week.
All right. Thank you so much, Christopher, as well as putting on a show for the fans down there. And appreciate your family and the wife letting you be able to do it. And Christopher, as well as you and your wife, man, hopefully have a great holiday break here, and best of luck going into championship race weekend.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. You have a good night.
Hey, you do the same, man. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here. Congratulations. Bobby Blair wins, gets into the next round. Jetson Case, Neil Lapidus, and Christopher Clore. That's our championship 4. Thank you all so much. Happy holidays to each and every single one of you. And from the bottom of my heart, have a great rest of your night.